Allo, allo, allo. I'm here today with a deck tech for a Brawl deck, my favorite deck, my favorite brew. This is called my Hidden Yoriok deck. Commander, Kyodai, Soul of Kamigawa. Not all that relevant, but it's a flash flyer. 3/3 makes something indestructible and can get pumped for Wooburg, which is why it's a 5-color commander. And this deck is based around Yorion, Sky Nomad, which flickers all of your stuff when it enters, or any number of things when it enters, and Yarok, which doubles the triggered abilities of permanents entering the battlefield. Alright, so I separated it out into packages here. It's a pretty tight deck. It's one I've been playing for a while and working on, and I'm quite fond. Starts out with just the pretty normal ramp package. You have all of what you expect. All 5-color ramp ideally. Incubation Druid is probably the worst piece of ramp in here. Maybe Cold Steel Heart. But this only taps for colors that you can already produce with your lands, which is not great. So I'm thinking about actually removing this for some other piece of 5-color fixing. But the best two, of course, being Elvish Rejuvenator and Topiary Stomper, because they are on ETBs of creatures. Enters the battlefield effects of creatures, which is the whole point of the deck. After that, we've got a whole package of Cloud Shift type effects, like Yorion. All of these are basically here to re-trigger our enters the battlefield effects, like Topiary Stomper. Cloud Shift, Ephemerate gets it twice. Essence Flux is whatever. Charming Prince is nice because it's both a flicker effect itself and a thing to flicker. Scry 2 isn't the greatest ability, but it's decent. Flicker of Fate, most of these are, I think all of these are at instant speed, I'm pretty sure. Rezug is a little bit different. This is an alchemy card, so not one that exists in paper, but you can, it's more recursion, but you turn a creature in your graveyard into an artifact and then you can cast it, which I think is kind of neat. It only costs a tap to activate, so you just need to pay for the creature again, and I don't have much other recursion in here, so yeah. And getting something like, say, a Mind Flayer back as an artifact instead of a creature would be very strong. Niambi is not the best. It bounces something to your hand, but it's just an option for like rebuying something and saving something, saving a high value target. Eerie Interlude is one of the best. It's like Yorion. You can flicker your whole board. And it is any number of targets too, so you don't have to flicker your whole board. Guardian. Touch of the Spirit Realm is a great one because it's a piece of removal for 3 mana. Or 2 mana channel, flicker something. And these all exist in basically 2 categories. One where it comes back at the end of the turn, and the other where it comes back immediately. Immediate is better, but either is usable. Though, if you're using the ones like this that come back at the next end step, at the beginning of the next end step, you should put a stop before the end step, because casting it during the end step is quite annoying. It'll come back at the end of your, like, the turn after, and it's a little annoying to work around, but it's whatever. Soul Herder is repeatable. It happens every turn, and it gets bigger as it happens, which is fantastic. This card is incredibly powerful. And Thassa is basically the same thing, but indestructible. Twining Twins is okay. It's just another copy. Swift Spiral is fine. Sometimes you can buy this back by bouncing it to your hand. But, yeah. Lumbering Battlement picks up your whole board and becomes a giant, and then you can flicker this to get the effects again. So that's a pretty high value one as well. After that, we've got our tutor package. It's not very robust, just a handful. Got Fauna Shaman, which I'm thinking about removing for perhaps Fiend Artisan, is a little more effective here, but this lets you discard creature cards to get any creature out of your deck into your hand. So it's decent. But much more effective are Neoform, Eldritch Evolution, and Roko, which all tutor things directly to the battlefield. Eldritch Evolution being the best of the lot, because you can take, say, a 3 mana creature, sack it, and get a 5 mana creature from your deck into play. Or a 4-mana creature like this and get a 6-drop, which includes a great deal of our big heavy hitters like Kagla, Gyruda, and then it's also it's that number or less, which means you have everything to pick from. Then Roko is just an X spell where you can tutor out a creature for whatever amount you can pay, so it's pretty decent. And Neoform, I think it's better than Fauna Shaman, but it is much worse than Eldritch Evolution because you can only get a creature that costs 1 more than the creature you sacrifice in exactly that amount, so you don't get as much versatility with it. It's still good, it still tutors it to the field. Hoarding Broodlord is the last one. We often end up with a pretty full board in this deck, and this card is fantastic. I think I'm going to pick up a few copies in paper because it's insane. It is absolutely absurd. Any tokeny decks would love this. You get to cast the card you tutor up as though it has Convoke, so, well, I guess it does actually have Convoke, but yeah. Okay, on to the next one. This is our pile of interaction. It's a good mix. Swords to Plowshares is I think it's the only one that doesn't interact well with the deck. It's just Swords to Plowshares. It's efficient. You gotta run it. It's just so good. But then after that, we got 2 damage. Not great. Makes a dragon, which is decent. In Brawl, you actually, since we're at 25 life instead of 40, like in EDH, which is largely the format I'm most used to, being at 25 is a huge difference. A 4/4 in the air that deals 2 damage out every time it attacks. Plus it makes our commander deal 2 damage as well when it attacks. It's just going to end the game very quickly. Aether Channeler can bounce something, draw a card, or make a 1/1. You're almost always bouncing something or drawing a card here. Obscura Polymorphous is one of the better cards. It's an alchemy card, so it lets you exile a target creature, and then its controller seeks a creature. So it's fine removal, especially when you're flickering it over and over, making them recast whatever they find and then dealing with it anyway. But you can also rebuy your own creatures, like if I've got a random dork sitting around like a Sylvan Ranger, I can just exile this and go get a new creature into my hand, which is really, really nice. Knight of Autumn for destroying artifacts and enchantments is the primary purpose. I need that somewhere in here. Lagrella is great. You exile both a creature of your opponent's and one of yours, and then generally you're going to be flickering this in order to remove new threats and rebuy your own effects. And make your creatures bigger. Nightclub Bouncer is a bounce, and then it increases the cost. And has flash, which is always nice. Ravenous Troop, straight, simple murder. Hostage Shaker, stealing whatever you take from them is always nice, though often you end up giving it back, unfortunately. Mind Flayer, again, stealing things from your opponent is quite nice, even if you have to give it back sometimes. And with Yarok, of course, all these are much more effective. Stealing 2 things with Mind Flayer is backbreaking. Terror of the Peaks can be removal, but often, especially with Yorion bouncing your entire board, Terror of the Peaks is just a kill card. You're going to end up throwing like 15-20 damage at your opponent's face, and it's a 5/5 flyer, 5/4 flyer. Kagla Neodaro can fight something as a 7/7, or it can be a hasty trampling 7/7. Or you can pay 4 and destroy an artifact or enchantment and shuffle it away and draw a card, which is still pretty decent. So that's the interaction and removal package. After which we have our card advantage package, roughly. Both these are the same size, which is nice. Very sleek. A bunch of things that draw a card, or tutor up a land, or make your opponent discard a card, or draw a card and make your opponent discard a card. Invasion of Amonkhet is great because you also get to rebuy things from the graveyard when it flips. Guardian Project just draws so many cards in a deck where you're flickering creatures with unique names, which is always. Karuga, just a massive draw spell on a stick. Gyruda is fun. Honestly, the number of times this whiffs is way too high. It probably should be replaced with something else, but I love Gyruda. Who doesn't love Gyruda? And Combat Thresher is excellent. 3 mana 1/1 double strike, draw a card, or 7 mana 3/3 double strike, draw a card, or 3 mana that. Flicker it and get your 3 mana double strike, or 3/3 double striking card draw spell, which is super nice. And last but not least, there is Atali. And Atali is generally the win condition in this deck. You hit Atali, often you're going to essentially cascade. You play a random card out of your deck and out of your opponent's deck. You're gonna hit one of your flicker effects so frequently, or a clone or something, Gyruda, all sorts of goodies here, and you end up getting this effect many times, which is backbreaking and very strong. I am running a single clone for obvious reasons. It's also the land clone, which is nice. And Yarok, and yeah, that is the whole deck. Yarok to double those ETBs. I love this deck. And the mana base is a 5-color mana base. It's fine. It does lean heavily green, white. I think it's like green, white, blue, black, red or something in that order, but mostly green. Mostly green, white, anywho. Alright, and now we'll get into some games with it. Okay, jumping right in here. Let's see what we can get going. Oh, why is my, there we go. My bar was showing. That's gross. Inappropriate, honestly. And I've got, what is this, the untapped overlay, I think, so I can see my deck list whenever, which is nice. Who are we playing against? Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh. DeSantis fine. It's got 2 mana, ramp, card draw, soul herder. I doubt it's actually going to go particularly well against a control, what I imagine is going to be a control deck, but we shall see. Start with this, center tapped. Don't need to be taking extra damage. 25 life is not 40. As anyone who plays Brawl knows. Alrighty then. They're thought seizing me, or dreaming of steel and oil. Okay, well, they got my soul herder, which is fine. Yeah, I'll start with the Armored Scrap Gorger. Next turn, play Wall of Blossoms to try to hit my land drop. Hope I get there. Let's see. Let's see the cut down or whatever. Whatever efficient removal they've got. Alright. They're checking my card again, or taking another card from my hand. What'd they take? Oh, Yarok, okay. Well, I didn't get what I wanted, a land, so we're going to try to draw it with this. We are going to successfully draw it with that, which puts us way ahead by getting a Paradise Druid out here. And let's exile this one. I've had Armored Scrap Gorger just completely ruin a deck. What did I run into? The fungus that returns things from your graveyard to the battlefield. Can't remember his name. Slimefoot. The 3-color one. Slimefoot and whoever else. So-and-so. Slimefoot and Squee. That's the one. And yeah, that is quite nice. So I'm gonna go Thassa. And then start flickering my Wall of Blossoms for card draw, which is always nice. Gotta get some more cards in my hand so I can keep on discarding to their discard effects. Not gonna attack here. The 2 damage isn't worth it, and this thing has hexproof as long as it is untapped, so. Nice, we found a land. Hopefully they don't have another piece of hand destruction, but they probably do. Oh, nice. Let's play Invasion of Tarkir into their... Yeah, they don't have blue mana. Nice. I think there's a pretty good chance they kill one of my mana dorks here, but think I still want to attack the... no, I think I'm just going to end the turn. That way I can flash in Kyodai at the end of their turn if they don't do anything too scary, and I can protect something maybe. See if they try to do something here. No, no attacks. End turn. Flicker this, draw a card. Gotta love a Thassa. Another land isn't great, but it's okay. That's fine. Okay, they stole some of my cards. Now, there are definitely some good hits in this deck that I'd rather not have them have. Oh, did they get an Arcane Signet from me? That's fine, honestly. I definitely wanted that out of my way. But it will be nice for them. And no, they got the Dreamroot Cascade, rather. Okay, they're playing their dragon. I'm just going to go ahead and exile a card from... No, well, I guess I'll cast my commander, yeah. Exiling one of those. Armored Scrap Gorger becomes a 3/3. And now we'll make Scrap Gorger indestructible. And we got a Ravenous Choop. Which actually doesn't let us kill the Invasion of Tarkir. That's fine, though. I'm just going to choop the dragon and continue to draw cards with Wall of Blossoms. Oh, no, I exiled my own Gyruda. That's fine. I'm not too terribly worried about that. And I'll just run out the Charming Prince. Flicker my Wall of Blossoms to draw some more cards. I will hit this. And hopefully we can knock that over next turn. I'm not going to play the Sunpetal Grove right now. I guess we're going to go ahead and flicker Charming Prince. Maybe Scry 2. That way when this comes back, I'll be able to draw whatever I want off the top. Honestly, nah, I'm good. I'll skip on both of those. Ooh. If my board sticks around for exactly this turn, I'll be in really good shape. This is pretty good for protecting your board. Well, that's not going to be very good for them. Yeah, good game. Okay, well, that control deck was not as interactive as a control deck generally wants to be. It was more hand destruction-y than anything else, and that's fine. Let's get right into game number 2. Well, that wasn't the worst performance, but I didn't really get to do the thing with the deck, which is a lot more fun than simply putting creatures into play and winning via small beats like that, but that's fine. Ooh, Naban, Dean of Iteration. We are playing double enters the battlefield wizards, huh? Ooh, this hand is what you call not it. We're gonna mull that. This hand is also not it, but it's fine. I hope. Keep, I guess. I'm gonna start off with the Triome. This deck's gonna go fast too, I imagine. Nice, that was a very good draw for me. That fixes our mana, gets us to 4, which isn't great or anything, but it's more than 3. Do we want to get to 4 this turn to play our commander? Or would I rather be on 5 next turn? I think I'd rather just be on 5 next turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I could turn a land into a thing, but I think I'd rather protect my mana dork with Teferi's Time Twist, which is a exile it. It comes back at the end of the turn with a counter. Resolve. Now he's got 2 mana. My turn. Ooh, alright. Now we're talking. So I got to 5 mana. I don't know what I wanted to do with 5 mana. I think we're just gonna play Thassa and pass and not flicker our creature, but maybe get Thassa countered. Nope. No attacks. End turn. Submit 0. Alright. Just want to keep up Ephemerate. It wouldn't be good to use here, but it would stop me from losing a creature, perhaps. It could perhaps save my Llanowar Loam Speaker. What is this? Reflections of Litjara. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type whenever copy that. Oh, okay. Makes copies of wizards. I see. So, there we go. Oh, right, they were choosing wizard, I see. Alrighty then. Now we have a Guardian project, which is pretty nice. I think I'm just going to cast that by tapping this for green. Red, black, green. Cast this. Then flicker my Llanowar Loam Speaker. Draw a card. Okay, well. I'm really hoping to just hit some more mana at some point. Enough for a Gyruda, ideally. Resolve. Counter non-creature spell unless controller pays 3. Okay, that's pretty good. So that'll stop my Ephemerate, my Time Twist, but not my creatures, which is fine. And I already have a Flicker Engine in play, so. They've got plenty of mana. I could try to make them use one now. Yeah, let's try to draw an extra card. See if he lets me. What you gonna do, Apple lol? I'm probably not even. Oh, nice, they did. I'm really happy about that. I didn't even want to cast the second copy of Ephemerate because I wanted to keep the land, or the mana from the Llanowar Loam Speaker. Turn creature. Nah, I'm good. Scry 2. Alright. Then we can go Lagrella the Magpie. You gonna let me resolve this, friend? Exile Charming Prince and Nabandine of Iteration. So one of the nice things about Lagrella is that if you target their commander, often they just put it back in the command zone because they don't know if you're ever going to give it back. Oh, okay. Well, I assume they have removal of some sort then. Which is fine because, you know. I guess I'm just going to do this already. Yeah, that makes sense. This, oh, not that. This and this. Yes. Submit. Let me draw some cards, do some scrying. I don't know if... Okay, I see. Oh, yeah, I don't know if that word does anything for us. Well, they tapped down all my creatures. I think I'm going to grab that interlude, if anything, here. But we are definitely drawing a lot of cards here. Robe of the Archmage. Didn't draw that many cards. Ooh. Oh, wow, that's awesome. This is the first I've seen of this. Whenever a equipped creature deals damage to a player, draw that many cards, equip Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard for 1. Interesting. No creatures in my graveyard for Rizug the Bone Cobbler. We could go Gyruda. They have enough mana to counter the Teferi's Time Twist. We have 7 mana total. Could also tutor up a 4-drop to kill something on their board. But I think I'm just going to fire off a Gyruda here. Oh my. Alrighty then. Hoarding Broodlord is not a bad hit. Good game. Yeah, that is an inappropriate card to flip off the top like that. I'd probably just go get Yorion. That way I can rezug the Atali back from my graveyard and then flicker it. Ooh. Yeah, that was much closer to what the deck is trying to do. Just drawing cards and flickering things and drawing more cards and getting advantage and casting Hoarding Broodlords for free. You'll love to see it. So this is the gonna be game 3, probably our final game. And against an Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, which is ever present in the format. Okay, so grab a red source with this. This hand's pretty decent. I don't like going second against an Atraxa, but 2 or more other lands. Okay. So we're going to go Triumph first. And we might draw some kind of check land or something to maybe come in untap next turn. Untapped this. Yeah, I think I would rather go 2 damage. Play a Llanowar Loam Speaker. Oh, I'm so sorry, opponent. Well, in that case, I'm probably going to go Sundown Pass. 2 mana for Invasion of Tarkir. 2 damage to your face. Turn my Triome into a creature. Attack the invasion with the Triome. End the turn. They're probably just going to concede because they're not hitting lands. That's unfortunate. Okay, one more game. One more, because that one hardly counts. You know, I don't often feel bad for an Atraxa player, but it's never fun to be stuck on 2. Let's get right back into it with our hidden Yoriok. And who is our... So that's 3 wins so far. That's not bad. Ooh, Gyruda. This is what I'm talking about. That's a fun deck. So the mana here is very awkward, but I'm going to keep it. So we go 1, 2, Incubation Druid. Hope for more colors of mana at some point. Yeah, this is exactly my problem with Incubation Druid. Right now it's only going to tap for red, green, and blue. And a decent chunk of my deck is white. But that's fine. It will enable me to play any of these cards. Either of these cards, rather. There we go. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get the Incubation Druid out here. Now there's a decent chance this is a like tempo style, lots of removal, Gyruda deck. But hopefully I'm not too much on the receiving end of things. Or receiving end of removal, rather. Okay, that's fine. I don't think it's worth it to be running these almost ever. So I'm on 4 mana right here. I'm going to pay the 2 life in order to have Nightclub Bouncer / Kyodai up. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward, but it's fine. And then next turn I can Mind Flare or something, maybe. Maybe steal their Ledger Shredder, maybe steal something else. So if they play Gyruda, I'll probably want to draw a card, intensity. What? Draw a card. If pieced together, intensity is 4, take an extra turn. Increase. Okay. Interesting. That is very interesting. I have not seen this card before. Counterspell. Okay, that's honestly super fine. I am not at all offended by that. Put back the command zone. Yeah, Kyodai is fine. Like, it's a fine card, but it's far from core to my game plan. Oh, you want to flip this guy over and steal my cards out of my hand, do you? Well, what if instead... I played a Mind Flare and took it. Would I rather have the Ledger Shredder here? Nah, I'd rather him not be swinging in with a 5/5 next turn. And I wouldn't mind him using removal on my Mind Flare here. Oh my. Yeah, I think I'd rather them have a different creature rather than a Shieldred. Resolve. So I am, in fact, going to go ahead and polymorph that. I'll have 3 mana left. I won't be able to Lagrella the Magpie afterwards. It's a little awkward, but I guess I should have tapped the Rona first. That's fine. I'll tap the Rona now. Ooh. No, I don't think Knight of Autumn is doing a ton for me here. So I can hold up Touch of the Spirit Realm, just in case. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold up Touch. Rather than play the Guardian to exile his Ledger Shredder. I want to be ready for whatever he puts into play with Gyruda. My problem with flipping this Rona is that if he ever gets rid of the Mind Flayer, they're going to get their Rona back. Alright, we are reviving something. And it has lifelink. Okay. That's pretty cool, my guy. That's fine. Stop. Okay, I think I'll take that Troll of Khazad-dûn. I want to gain some life here. You can have your Rona back. Resolve. Let's remove these stops now because they're annoying. Yoink. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does having 7 make a difference? It does. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay 2 life here. And go attacking. And opponent is down to 14. So, what are we doing? Perhaps Lagrella the Magpieing Rona and Obscura Polymorphous here. That seems fine. And then I will end the turn. I hope they hit their 6th land so they can play Gyruda. Be a little bit sad to never have them play it. Alright, they're making a copy of a Ledger Shredder. I could have bounced the Ledger Shredder and fizzled that. Alright, alright. You're gonna do a thing here. That's fine. I don't think they can attack with their Ledger Shredders if they want to survive. Ooh, okay, well, now I'm never going to feel bad about anything. Because that is a Cityscape Leveler. Okay, gain 2, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and bounce one of those Ledger Shredders. You're not shredding my ledgers today, friend. Let's go to combat. Swing, 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 swing. They can block the 6/5 and lose their new Ledger Shredder and take a bunch. Or they can just take a different bunch. And then, 1, 2, 3, I'll have 4 mana left, and I can make it 5. I think I'm just gonna have that ender tapped and end the turn. That way I can flash in Kyodai at the end. Which can kill, since I have all 5 colors of mana. Red, black, or red, blue. Okay, yeah. Good game. And good games. 4 wins in a row. So, yeah. That was a great performance from this deck. A while ago I made a 5-color template so I can kind of throw together 5-color decks with some of the core goodies in it. And yeah, this was like the first one I made out of that. And I'm quite excited to do some more deck techs. Get to show off my Brawl creativity. I think that Brawl is like a brewer's paradise, really, because I don't know, there are a lot of options. It's a decently deep card pool, but it's not EDH. Yeah. Alright. Thank y'all so much for watching. It has been an absolute pleasure playing today. This has been The Art of Dying, and I'll see y'all next time.